boat drifts through a narrow stone archway. Sunlight cuts through a hole in the cave ceiling above, landing on turquoise water below. This golden sun cathedral doesn't have a roof, it has the sky, and it's waiting at the very end of this list, in a stretch of Portugal's Algarve Coast that keeps producing scenery almost too dramatic to be real. From cliff-top fortresses to a market that's been feeding this town for generations, here are the 10 best things to do in Portimão, Portugal. Let's dive in. 10. West of Portimão, the fishing village of Alvor unfolds in a maze of whitewashed alleys and covered lanes, laundry lines across between balconies, cats stretch out on warm stone steps. The streets climb gently toward a hilltop church, rewarding anyone who wanders with a view over red rooftops and the estuary beyond. Visit in the late afternoon when the low sun turns the white walls gold and the alleys empty out. 9. Down by the river, the municipal market hums with the sound of vendors calling out the day's catch. Crates of sardines glisten on ice. Stalls overflow with figs, almonds, and citrus grown just outside town. It is less a tourist stop than a working piece of daily life. The same rhythm that played out here for decades. Arrive before 10 in the morning for the freshest selection and the fewest crowds. 8. In the heart of Portimão's old town stands a church that has watched the town rebuild itself more than once. Behind a Gothic doorway that survived a devastating earthquake, gilded woodwork and painted tiles line the interior and quite contrast to the sun-bleached streets outside. Look for the carved doorway on the south side. It is one of the few architectural elements to predate the 1755 earthquake. 7. This palm-lined avenue traces the cliff top above Praia da Rocha, linking restaurants, cafes, and viewpoints along a single easy walk. By day, it's a place to watch the Atlantic roll in between sips of coffee. By night, string lights take over, and the avenue turns into the social spine of the whole beach street. Time a walk for sunset. The western-facing viewpoints along this stretch are some of the best in town. 6. At the mouth of a red river, rows of yachts and fishing boats sit beside promenade built for slow evenings. Restaurants spill onto the waterfront, live music drifts from open-air bars, and boats bound for the caves of Benagil and Lagos depart just steps away. Book cave and dolphin-watching tours directly at the Marina kiosks for better rates than online. 5. Perched on a rocky headland above the harbor, the 17th century fortress once guarded the river entrance from pirate raids. Today, its withered walls from one of the finest panoramas on the coast, the red cliffs of Praia da Rocha stretching out on one side and the mouth of the river on the other. The fortress is free to enter and rarely crowded. A sunset visit here rivals any paid viewpoint nearby. 4. Stretching between the village of Alvor and the airport's headline, this wide ribbon of golden sun backs onto low dunes and a scattering of beach bars. It's calmer than the beaches closer to central Portimão, drawing families and anyone chasing a quieter stretch of coastline without giving up the amenities. The far western end of the beach, near the dunes, tends to be the least crowded even in peak summer. 3. Três Irmãos means three brothers, named for trio of rock formation rising from the sun. Sea arcs and hidden coves break up the shoreline. Connected at low tide by narrow passages of golden beach, it rewards exploration. Every rock formation seems to hide another small cove just past it. Check tide times before visiting. Several of the connecting coves are only walkable at low tide. 2. Portimão's most famous beach unfolds beneath dramatic ochre cliffs. its white golden sand backed by a lively strip of restaurants and bars. Rock formations rise straight out of the shoreline like sculpture, while the clifftop promenade above offers a completely different angle on the same coastline, one of the most photographed stretch of the entire Algarve. The cliffside staircases get busy midday, arrive early morning for the same view with a fraction of the crowd. 1. And this brings the list back to where it started. Bengal's sea caves are carved so precisely by centuries of Atlantic swell that the largest one holds an almost perfect circular opening in its roof, letting a single shaft of light fall onto the sun below. The beach itself is small and framed by cliffs on either side, but is the caves reached by boat, kayak, or paddleboard just beyond it that have made the stretch of coastline famous around the world. Nowhere else on this list captures the raw geology of the Algarve quite like it. Arrive by boat before 9 in the morning. The main cave gets a queue of tour boats and kayaks by midday. From cliff tops for Três to a cave with a hole in its roof, Portimão packs an entire coastline worth of scenery into one small corner of Algarve. Which of these 10 would top the list first?